What's up, you guys? It's Levi here. So today I'm going to be finishing up a 3-part series that I've been doing on the coronavirus or COVID-19 scams that are out right now. The previous 2 videos I'll put in a card up above so that you guys can check those out, and I'll put links down below in the description. Basically, the first video I talked about was COVID-19 phishing scams. The second video I talked about was COVID-19 texting and phone scams. I highly recommend checking those out if you haven't already. And today, the third video, I'm talking about coronavirus website scams. So, in the previous videos, I put a chart up above so you guys could see how insane it is how many coronavirus domains are being registered weekly. Check it out up above here. So on February 17th of 2020, there was roughly around 500 to 600 coronavirus websites that were being registered weekly. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, it skyrockets exponentially 10 times what it was previously, up to 6,000 plus websites or domains being registered weekly. Absolutely insane. We all know that these websites aren't all legit. In fact, the majority of them are probably scamming sites or sites being held to try to scam people like you. So here's an example of some of the websites that I'm talking about from a list that I found. I would not advise going to any of these websites. Do it at your own risk if you decide to do so, but you don't want to get identity theft or fraud, so I wouldn't do that. Alright, so today I'm going to be giving you guys a few examples of websites out there that are involved in coronavirus scams, so that you guys can see some of the coronavirus scams that are out there, and most importantly, so I can teach you guys things to help protect yourselves so that you don't fall for these coronavirus scams that are out there, especially at this current moment in time when we're already dealing with this coronavirus situation. You definitely wouldn't want identity theft or fraud committed against you right now. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I would love to see those. Alright, so the first scam that I'm going to be showing you guys today has to deal with a vaccination scam. Basically, the site was coronavirusmedicalkit.com. The federal government, or the U.S. Department of Justice, actually shut this site down a few weeks ago as of the recording of this video. Basically, the site was taking advantage of the fact that people were trying to find a cure for coronavirus. It was taking advantage of the fear that people have in coronavirus, and that's the first tip that you guys should take when looking at websites or anything coronavirus related for that matter. Be aware of the fear the coronavirus is trying to cause, and don't let that fear consume you into falling for something like this. Alright, so as you can see here, the site is claiming that the World Health Organization is giving away a coronavirus vaccine. All you guys have to do is pay $4.99 for shipping and handling, and you'll get that vaccine. Then you can see all you have to do is add some water to that vaccine and follow the instructions, and boom, you will be immune to corona. You can move on with your life and be done self-isolating, right? And everybody can do this, and the world will be a great place, right? Well, not so fast, my friend. So if you happen to fall for this scam and you smash that click order button, you're going to be prompted to enter your payment information. And once you fill out your payment information, guess what? You guys must be super generous because you just gave the criminal, or what I like to call the pirate, a free donation. That's so nice of you for you guys being so generous. But really, if you guys are going to be so generous, I got something that's actually free for you. All you guys got to do is smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It would be a huge benefit for the channel to get this content out there. So if you're feeling generous, make sure that you're smashing that like button. Alright, so the key thing to learn here is that at the date of the creation of this video, or the posting of this video, there is not projected to be a vaccine for the next 12 to 18 months. So whenever this video is posted, if you're looking at one of these sites and it's not 12 to 18 months after that, any type of vaccination or cure site is probably going to be
fake news.
So just keep that in mind. If you see something that's a cure, you see something that's a vaccination, it's probably fake if it's not within the next year, or if it's not a year out or 18 months out. The other thing that you can do in this situation is go and verify on legit news organizations, not fake news organizations, that there's actually a cure out there. And if there is, you're probably going to have to go to the doctor's office or something like that, right? Like, you're probably not just going to be able to go on and find it on a website and get it. Generally, that's not the way it works in the United States anyway. All right, so if you're seeing this, make sure that you're either moving on from this or reporting it to the federal government. I'll post some links down below or a phone number down below that you guys can do that if you feel the need to do so. So check that out. All right, so the next scam that I have a website as an example for you guys to check out is donation and volunteer scams. So I was looking through some recently registered domains that were out there, and I found this website called covidsafecorps.org. And I found this was registered on 3/23/2020, which is not very far away from the recording of this video. This page looks extremely legit, as you're going to see here soon, but before I show it, I highly recommend that you guys don't go to it. At this point in time, it does not seem like a legit site to me. I'm going to be sharing that information, why, and things that you guys should be looking for real soon, but don't go to the site at this point in time, because so far, the things that I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like a legit site, and I wouldn't want to put you guys in danger. This website, as you can see here, it looks super, super legit. It's supposedly a site to help volunteers connect with people that have the COVID-19 virus and can't go out there to the grocery store and things like that because they're quarantined and they don't want to be able to spread that COVID-19 to other people. So if this site is legit, that's really, really cool. I hope this works out for them. But let's take a look at the reasons why I do not think this site is legit, or why I think it's really suspicious at this point in time. And these are some things that you should be looking for when you're seeing donation sites or volunteering sites like this, to help yourselves judge if a site's legit or not. All right, so the first thing is, if you need to sign up to be a volunteer, or you need to sign up to receive the benefits from a volunteer, they want you to enter a bunch of personal information. So like your name, your phone number, your email address, and then what type of services you would like to receive or provide. All real basic information. That's not terribly surprising to me. But this is the one that gets me. Right here, they want you to enter your driver's or your government ID and upload a picture of the front and the back of it. And to me, that is too much information to give out on a website that has just been recently created, within the last week of this video being posted. Who knows what they're going to use that information for? All I know is that information can be used for fraud or identity theft. And then going down the list here is even more reasons why you shouldn't give out that information. The next reason is they have a GoFundMe page that for $25,000 that has nothing assigned to it, so nobody's donated anything to it. The next thing is they have a Twitter account that only has 2 followers, so nobody is following it. The same thing if you go out to their Facebook page, there's only 2 followers on that. And then finally, if you guys do a Google search on this, there's hardly any information to be found about this organization. So all of this stuff is really, really suspicious right now because the site is new. All of this stuff is just created. Maybe it's a matter of this site or this organization is in the process of being created. This can also be the typical look of a scam, and something this new, I would not fill out your information for or do anything on a site like this until they establish some credibility, until you're seeing more people following them on social media. Hopefully they could get on a local news channel or national media and get more information out on Google that shows their website, it shows they're legit, things like that. Right now, it's so hard to tell if this organization is legit. In the future, I guess we'll find out. If you go back and look at this video a couple of months from now, there might be more information out there. So that'll be definitely interesting to see. If you're watching this a few months from now and you're finding,
Hey, Levi, this site's legit. What are you talking about?
comment down below so I can see it and you guys can tell me I'm wrong. But mainly I wanted to use this as an example for you guys to see kind of the shell template of what sites can look like that aren't legit. So that's the main thing to learn from this. All right, so then finally I have some tips for you guys to follow from the US Justice Department that I'll go through briefly. I'm not going to go through them in detail like what's showing here. But I'll kind of give you some small points for the sake of time. If you want to check out the full thing, I'll put a link down below in the description for you guys to check out. All right, so a condensed version of the US Department of Justice tips. The first one is verifying identity and researching COVID-19 organizations or organizations associated with COVID-19. If you're trying to volunteer or something like that, make sure that you're doing your research and checking that they're a legit organization, going out on Google, checking the news, things like that, to make sure that they're legit before you're sending them information or contacting them. The number two thing, beware of fake email addresses. There's a lot of emails out there that are trying to pretend to be the CDC or something like that, and they might be changing the end of the extension. So instead of cdc.com, they're changing it to cdc.corn, which looks similar, or things like that where they're just adding a few extra words in there to try to convince you that they are actually the CDC. Be aware of those. Number three, antivirus. Make sure that you're updating your antivirus on your computer, and if you don't already have antivirus, make sure that you get it turned on your computer. So if you fall for one of these scams that puts malware on your system, it's more likely to catch it so that you don't get the malware on your system. Number four, make sure that you're ignoring COVID-19 treatment offers. Like we talked about, a website that's out there giving out free vaccines. It's going to be 12 to 18 months before it's projected that there'll be any treatment options. So in the time being, ignore all of those treatment options on the web because they're probably fake. Number five, make sure that you're being careful with COVID-19 donations. There's a lot of scamming sites that are out there. The same thing as number one, make sure that you're verifying those organizations that you're donating to are legit, because you don't want to donate and be nice and give a criminal free money, right? All right, number six, be careful with investment opportunities relating to COVID-19, especially ones based on claims for small companies or services can stop the virus. If you decide to invest, and anytime you're invested in anything, make sure you're doing your research beforehand. You never want to put your money into something that you don't fully understand, like Warren Buffett would say. And then finally, number seven is actually mine. I had to add my own in there. Think before taking any action. Make sure that in this time and moment, there's so many COVID-19 scams out there. You have to think before you're taking any action on emails, on websites, text messages, phone calls, anything related to COVID-19. Stop and think. Remember what you've been taught throughout these last 3 videos, and hopefully that information will help you guys protect yourselves so that you don't fall for any of these scams. So stop and think. I hope you guys learned a lot from this content. Please do me a huge favor if you like this content, and make sure that you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting that notification bell, because it really helps this channel out and getting this information promoted on YouTube. When you guys are taking those actions, this content will get shown to more people on YouTube so that they can help protect themselves. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.